Hello, gorgeous people of the internet. As you might be aware, we've been working on our newest fencing project since about September 2025. It's now May 2026 and we're still going. And some of you guessed what we were doing. We have been, with part of it, setting up a kind of track. It's not quite a track. I'm calling it a track paddock. It's not finished yet, but I thought I'd show you where we've gotten up to, and I'm going to tell you more about it over time. So let me give you a tour. So it starts here, and this is what was already a paddock that was in use. So we've extended off the back of it. Our boundary fence is just the wire one, just past the borderline fence here. These trees are ours. So this paddock, this was existing, and you'll see it is not the width of a track. Well, maybe some tracks. It's much wider. Nice day for it. So this was the existing paddock, and its fence line finished about here, although it did used to extend down the whole way. So this is some of the new fence that we've had put up, and this replaced an existing wire fence that we've pulled out, and our tree break here, and our boundary fence is just the other side of these trees. So this wider area here was originally a big long paddock that connected to the section we were just in, and so the bit up there that used to be the paddock, we fenced that off as a place to contain our escape artists. But this did used to be one big long paddock. So this is another section of new fence that we had done last year and recently finished. And this is not our back boundary. Our property keeps going down the hill into the dip, and these big trees here are our back tree break, and then our property finishes after that. So this area we don't graze because it has a number of rabbit burrows and rabbit holes and wombat burrows through it. Not good for horses' legs. So we also have a population of kangaroos that like to visit us here at Abby's Run and live between our property and the neighbouring properties. So we have fenced off this area for wildlife. This is also where we found native orchids come up a couple of springs ago. So this is a wild area. And this bit then is for the horses. So this is where we have started to create our track paddock. One of the features about our track paddock is that we're going to actually, the inside part that has been sort of these long, thinnish, not that thin, paddocks before now, we're going to keep those or re-fence them. And so our track, while it's going around the outside, well, almost, you'll see what I mean in a second, while it's going almost around the outside now, we'll be able to be blocked off and horses redirected through these inner paddocks so that they can get access to more pasture, and we can essentially rotationally do some rotational grazing around this. But a huge feature of our track, and why we wanted to do it, is because, as you can see, our property is very hilly, and when we got here there were some trees but not enough for good shelter, and still in some of these paddocks up the hill, they don't get enough shelter, particularly in summer. So setting up this track paddock means that our horses can get access to different topography around the property here. As you'll have seen, I'm going downhill now, and then they can get up against both sides of the back tree break. So whichever way the prevailing wind is coming from, they can get out of the wind, and they can always get some shade, which is really, really important, and make sure that they're protected from the elements. This means we don't necessarily need them to be coming into the man-made shelters. They'll be able to get enough shelter out here, which is fab. I'm going to keep walking. So this fence line here is also new, that I'm walking towards now. And it's not our boundary fence either. You'll see that there's another fence. It's a little hard to see. There's another fence just here-ish. And then there's the tree break, and our boundary fence is on the other side of that. So what we're going to have here is a gate, which we don't have the gate for yet. And we can open that up and let the horses move through this area, which leads to an open space around our dam. And then we've got a gate at the other end there so that they can come through this area and out the other end, and it can become part of the track, and we can block this section of the track off. So this is all new fence here and all rebuilt fence on the inside. And we've kept the inside fence here as star pickets and hot tape to give us flexibility of changing that around. But also, this stuff's expensive. This stuff's cheaper. Still expensive, but cheaper. So it gives us a bit more flexibility over time, and maybe at some point we will build this in. But for now, it's doing the job. Here's the dam paddock that our horses sometimes get access to. So another section of new fence and another gate we need to get and install for the other end of access into the dam paddock here. And then this right here is the new bit we've just opened up on the weekend for the horses. Fernando and Rufus modelling it for us. Hello you guys, good boys. So more new fence, another new fence line down here. This bottom section we love because it has some great trees. Hi Rufus, some great trees. It's a good shape. Oh look, there's a bird's nest there. I haven't noticed that before. Oh Rufus, don't stick your head in. Oh look at that. I wonder who nested there. And now Rufus and Fernando have joined me for the tour. It's a lovely area for getting out of the sun, getting some really good shade, getting out of the wind depending on what direction the wind's blowing from. We measured the distance that this track is going, track paddock goes so far. I'm going to guess maybe 800 meters, maybe? I don't know. Oh, I should set one of my phone walking apps going and then we'd know, wouldn't we guys? So for now, the track goes up to here, the track paddock goes up to here, this nice open area at the end, and part of the next phase will be to build this fence line ahead here so that the track can go up the hill past those trees on the left there and eventually connect back to itself at the top of the hill. But we've got more plans for more track paddockness beyond this, and the idea is that we'll be able to connect them up in future, but that's a ways in the future. We've got to finish this one first. All right, I better go give these horses some love. See ya.